Oh, Scout's still in the room. You sit down here,
Yeah,
Scout.
boy.
You want to join us?
There's a wolf in the room.
There's a wolf in the
There's a
room.
wolf.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Confused Breakfast Podcast. Normally, we choose a classic movie from the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s and dissect it with a modern eye to see if it still moves us the way it did as kids. But not today. On this episode, we're going to discuss multiple amazing movies instead of just one. We think you're going to love it, so sit back and enjoy today's episode, Top 5 Movies from 1985.
Oh, yeah.
Confused Breakfast!
We're pretty excited about today's episode, and I'll explain to you why we're doing this shortly. But first, it's time to introduce the team. My name is Mike Schulte, and joining me as always, two dudes that love the motherfucking 80s. Sean Pryor and AJ Vance, how the heck are ya?
I love the 80s because I'm an 80s kid.
Yeah.
I'm an 80s kid. I
80s
was born
baby.
I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 89, so I'm an 80s baby.
I was born in 91, so my parents show me all the movies from the
Yeah.
80s.
So
We are not we're not the definitive people to be talking about
No.
1985.
No,
I was
probably-
3, you guys weren't born.
look, I've seen a couple of the movies, okay?
was never even thought of.
So here's why we're here today. Top 5 lists and ranking movies is such a cool way to talk about a lot of movies at once, provide some cool conversation. So back in August when we were kind of getting this thing rolling, Sean had the idea to give a little sneak peek into what our Patreon-only audio is like,
Yeah, why not?
which we offer to our top-tier patrons, weekly bonus audio. So we did a top 5 summer movies, and it was a total hit. People loved it. Followed that up with our top 5 fall movies in October, and then we did our top 5 rom-coms in January. People love that.
Yeah.
They think top 5 lists are the best. They think our knowledge is amazing. They think our 5 lists is the best that has ever been done.
Okay.
These are real comments from people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And
Wow.
so-
Wow.
We're going to continue down that road today. We're going to do top 5 movies from 1985, which was an absolutely insane year.
Crazy.
But before we get into that discussion, don't forget to leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It obviously includes Spotify now. Check us out on Patreon. This is kind of the idea behind it. This is sort of what Patreon audio is like. You can hear this weekly bonus audio that only you guys get to hear. Patreon.com/Confused Breakfast.
More loosey-goosey, a little off the cuff. Not
Yeah.
a lot of research from us, but
Exactly.
you get our commentary anyway.
For sure.
And we're up and running on YouTube. We got merch. We got social medias. Go check all that out at confusedbreakfast.com. All right, so let's jump in, fellas. Our topic today is top 5 movies from 1985. This year is widely recognized as one of the best years for movie production ever. I
Yeah.
mean, there are a couple. What are the years, Sean? Like
99's fucking huge. I think-
87,
I think like 87,
85.
88, I believe. There's so many.
But,
1990.
2001,
Yeah.
I believe.
There's some
There are
big
just
ones,
certain
yeah.
years where it just seems like you're like, oh my God, all these movies came out from this year.
Right.
So this may be a reoccurring thing, but we decided we'd start in 1985 and specifically talk about our favorite movies that came from that year,
Not the best.
our favorites.
Our personal favorites.
And that is rule number 1. These are our
Correct.
personal favorites from that year. The other rule is that we cannot talk about any movies we've already discussed.
Correct.
So here, we're already going to start blowing your minds from 1985.
Please
Goonies,
Go.
Breakfast Club,
Yep.
Legend of Billie Jean. We're all 1985. We have already done those movies.
Already done those
Legend
movies.
of Billie Jean would be on my list.
Goonies would be on my list.
Yeah.
Breakfast
I
Club
wonder
on
what
your
would be
list.
on mine.
Weird. And then we also agreed mutually that we will not do Back to the Future, which was also 1985, because that episode will be coming up soon. We're going to probably have to do a 10-parter on Back to the Future because
we don't know what we're going to do with that.
We
Yeah.
still don't know, but
Yeah.
but clearly it would be on all of our lists.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do those 4 movies. Let's talk honorable mentions. Do you guys have any?
I do.
Okay.
I can spout some
Give
off.
us a few honorable mentions.
I got Just One of the Guys as an honorable mention.
I don't know that one.
Really, yeah, it's a really cool one. It's like a kind of a trans kind of story, to be honest.
Really?
This girl wants to be just one of the guys. I think she wants to be on like the football team or something like that. I haven't seen it in a while. That's quite. It was on my top 5.
But honorable
I took
mentions.
it off because I haven't seen it in a long time. But Vision Quest,
Yep.
another great one, wrestling
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, that's not on your list?
Not on my list.
Wow,
I
that's very
fucking-
surprising.
I love that movie. Into the Night. That is a I'm kind of doing his thing. Jurassic Park. Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
It's a great kind of like crazy one night story. It's a really cool movie by the director of American Werewolf in London. And I'm gonna have to go with the movie Demons, directed by Lamberto Bava, who is Mario Bava's son. You know.
Oh yeah,
It's a great one.
It's on my list.
the greatest of all the
It's about
Demons.
it's about kill like a movie that kind of curses people and like there's demons that they're like zombies that happen in the movie.
They kind of do the
A lot of gross stuff.
a lot of
happens.
shit,
Everybody
sick
dies.
Shit. Yeah.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
That's my honor.
Love it.
What, you got any honorables, AJ?
I'm sure I got some. There's James Bond: A View to Kill came out this year.
Okay.
I love anything James Bond,
course.
and I'll at least watch the first 30 minutes of any of them.
That's very true. That's very true.
Let's be honest. Otherwise, Pale Rider, that was a great Clint Eastwood one.
Damn, hell yeah.
And Witness was another from Harrison Ford.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Vision Quest would probably be on my honorables as well. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think there's much else that I can think of that we haven't already talked about, or we're probably going to.
Yeah,
Right.
so, nice.
I got 3 honorables. Summer Rental.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Summer Rental was on my top 5 summer movie list.
Yeah.
And it would normally be on this list, but I left it off because I already put it on that list.
Good for you.
That's a lesser known John Candy movie.
You need to watch it
That
still.
that I believe both of you have not seen.
No, haven't yet.
So we may have to make that our I've never seen, but then we can't do the fun like
yeah,
oh, what's it about? Because you already know what it's about, but who cares?
I don't.
It's fucking John Candy.
I really don't.
It sounds good to me.
I can
Summer
make something
Rental.
up.
Summer Rental for sure came out in '85. There was a movie called Follow That Bird. It was Sesame Street presents. It was Big Bird.
Okay.
And it
Oh,
was like
no.
him, Big Bird, like went on a journey. It was like a real life movie.
You got
And-
into drugs. And
No, totally.
Oh.
Dude, but there was a great, like, Waylon Jennings had a cameo.
Yeah, he did.
Chevy Chase was the new caster. I get it. John Candy was a state trooper. Sandra Berthard was a waitress. Joe Flaherty and Dave Thomas are villains in the movie.
Wait,
Wow.
Wendy's Dave
Yeah,
Thomas?
no. Dave
Oh.
Thomas, like Strange Brew Dave
Oh,
Thomas.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's just from me speaking from as a kid watching that. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Then there's a movie called Gotcha. Have you guys ever seen it?
No.
Okay, then I don't necessarily know if I want to. I'll tell you what it's about because it could have made our list. Anthony Edwards was in this. It's like it was in between Revenge of the Nerds and Top Gun for Anthony Edwards. He was like a college kid that they had a game where they played paintball with like handheld guns and they would shoot each other and be like, gotcha. But then he goes to Russia and like gets involved with like the KGB. It's the weirdest fucking like it's probably not a very good movie, but I remember it from 1985.
I feel like I want to watch it now.
It's really fucking good. There's a great theme song. It's like gotcha, and you got me
Oh,
too
I'm on board.
late.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
really
want to
good.
watch it. Now.
That's catchy as fuck.
I don't want to watch it now.
You're off board?
Now that just
Yeah.
took me off.
At the end of this
there
episode,
was a
I will
train,
play the theme
I'm
song
on
of
board.
that, and I'll get us out on that one. Well, before we start with our number 5 on our list, let's talk about our amazing sponsor, Felix Gray. This company makes affordable, incredibly stylish glasses that filter out the harmful blue light that is all around us from computers, phones, TVs, all that bullshit. They're 15 times more effective than any other blue light glasses at filtering this terrible blue light that makes us all have headaches and not be able to fall asleep and everything. Quality's unbelievable. You will love all the options for different styles and colors. Sean, you've had yours for like a couple months now. How do you feel about them?
I feel great. I feel like I can kind of see
The future?
the future, but also like like even reading some stuff off the iPad or my phone
Yeah.
for the episodes, it kind of gets a little straining. Like especially if I have like a post amble or something, I can kind of see like the lines in my eyes, like imprint in my eyes. With these glasses, it doesn't happen anymore, and it feels really really good. To be honest.
They look to you both are wearing them right now. They look completely normal. They look like normal stylish glasses. They don't have like a tint to them.
Yeah.
It looks like you're wearing normal glasses, and all you're doing is protecting your eyeballs from all this stuff that we're looking at. So,
Thank you.
no, thank Felix Gray.
Yeah, I am.
Don't thank me. Thank Felix Gray.
You can decide, give him the belt. You can decide between prescription, non-prescription. You can get readers. Clearly, our exposure to blue light is not going away. AJ loves staring at a screen in bed. His phone hits him in the face when he's laying
True.
there.
It's
not
true.
going to go away. Do yourself a favor. Grab a pair of these glasses. We all have them. We love them. I have 2 pairs. Did you get your second pair already?
I did, yeah,
We,
yeah.
we have multiple pairs. We wouldn't do that if we didn't actually love this. Go check them out. FelixGrayGlasses.com/confused. FELIXGRAY glasses.com/confused. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. Go check it out.
Hell yeah. See the future.
They've been like, hey, can you tell Sean to stop saying that?
Hey, everything's been great, but can you? That's not
actually
our
not our
tagline, so-
slogan.
We don't even have one. So
And we've run it by everybody, and they're not happy with it. They don't think that's the one.
They're pretty upset.
actually, could you take those glasses off his fucking face, please?
All right, let's start with our number 5. I'll start us off.
Okay, cool.
I like this.
My number 5. And again, we're just going to keep blowing your mind of the movies that came out in 1985. My number 5, 1985 movie, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't necessarily. It was a staple of my childhood. It scared the fuck out of me. Like, it's a scary
Yeah.
movie as a young kid. It's thrilling. It's this fantastical journey of, like, every time you go back and watch it, you're like, this is fucking awesome. Like, it's an incredible movie. I had to look it up. Pee Wee Herman Show was 1981 and 1984, which of course catapulted him into like success. I used to watch all of the TV shows. I guess you guys wouldn't. You probably would have watched like
No.
reruns and stuff, but we would watch
'Cause
the TV
you're,
shows because I'm older than you
a
guys.
little older.
Cheers.
Hey,
Ninjas.
cheers.
Then this movie came out in 95 or 85, and then they did the Pee Wee Herman, like the next version of that, like Playhouse, Pee Wee's
Yeah,
Playhouse
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was a massive, massive success at this time. And this movie was, you go back and watch it, it's done very well.
Yeah.
Like and the scary, memorable moments like Large Marge,
Large Marge, man.
the dinosaurs, the tequila part with the bikers, the Alamo. Like, there's so many iconic moments in that movie that it completely holds up.
Tim
to
Burton.
me, it's Tim Burton. Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
everything about it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's 1985. That's my number 5 for sure.
My brother, I think both my brothers, Ray and Dave, I think they both talked about Pee-wee's
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Playhouse,
Yep.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Like, they talked about a lot.
Big Top Pee Wee or
Yeah.
something like that.
It,
yeah.
But it always scared the hell out of me. I was like, no way, I'm out. Like, they were all about Pee-wee, Mr. Rogers, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
It is the Tim Burton version of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Mr. Rogers had those damn dolls, man. Don't
Yeah.
tell me that those were adorable because
No,
you're lying.
I will not.
I think many of the movies we're going to talk about today are going to eventually get their full episode. Let's just
Oh,
put it that-
probably.
Let's just
I
put it
like
that
it.
way.
Yeah.
I like it.
AJ, what do you got for 5?
All right, I'm going
Going
to
that
give
way,
you.
okay.
Yeah, I like go counterclockwise.
This is interesting. Yeah, that's fun.
I'm not ready.
Ooh, look at that. Okay. No, so I put this in there for a couple of reasons, but I'll tell you right away. It's Police Story.
Nice.
Have you guys seen Police Story? Jackie Chan as
What?
in
Yeah.
Police Story.
Oh yeah.
I'm a police academy guy, so
Oh,
like
a little bit different.
Winslow wasn't in this one.
No,
Damn it.
no.
Steve Guttenberg.
Like Police Story is a Chinese action movie, action comedy almost, starring Jackie Chan. And Police Story with Jackie Chan, it was like one of the, I don't think it was like his first necessarily, but for me it certainly was, of these movies of Jackie Chan and the awesomeness that he brought to America in cinema. Like his own stunts, his entire team of people. When you see a Jackie Chan movie, you see all the goons that he's fighting. That's his
It's
team.
all it's his
Yeah.
friends.
That
and-
is his.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they've worked together for years.
Yeah.
And watching them do what they do is insane. I'm talking about, so you talk about like fun action sequences in Hollywood at this point. Well, Jackie Chan did all that and it was real. And I mean, he was dodging car accidents. He was jumping through windows. He was jumping off of buildings. He was doing everything. And it was absolutely insane. Like the practicality of all the stunt work that goes into this. Now, that all being said, It's not wonderful storytelling. I'm not telling you that this is like
We're not
the
saying this
best
is the best
thing.
movie from 1985.
It's not the best movie, but I'm telling you that the bouts of like the comedic action and very very like Hong Kong style comedy like going through this is just that. It's comical.
Yeah.
But and it's kind of laughable right now. But when you go through this though and you see all the stuff that he did, I'm telling you, practically dodging getting smashed by two cars.
No CGI.
No CGI, no nothing. I'm talking about cars going down a hill and taking out a bungalow like that they built, this bungalow community that's built on a hill, and these cars taking it all out, and all of his stunt people dodging these cars and doing it in real time. No, dude, it's insane. You'll never see anything else like it, especially for the time. That is why you need to see Police Story. That's it.
Hey, The Rock, let's see you do that in real
Yeah.
time.
Hey,
Fucking idiot.
you fucking idiot.
I just watched San Andreas the other day. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Dude,
He's stopping tectonic plates from moving.
no.
Don't do
Don't. I'm The Rock.
Can you smell what I'm cooking?
God, I'm sorry for bringing that up.
So wait, they put a rock between the tectonic plates
They
to
did.
keep from
Sean.
shifting? Oh no.
Please, Sean, give us your number.
Well, I just gotta say, Jackie Chan's like the our generation's, I guess,
The Rock.
80s of The Rock. No, he's our generation, like Buster Keaton, because Buster
Yeah.
Keaton, like back in the day, with silent films and everything like that. Like you can see footage of him, like a house frame falling down in just like one window, and it's perfectly placed. It's a real
It's a
facade.
real
It's
take.
all wood. It would smash him and kill him if he didn't calculate all of this, inertia and everything that had to go into it. It's fucking crazy, but those are so much fun to watch. My first one is Weird Science by John Hughes.
Wow. Okay.
1985.
Okay, big smash. Oh, let's
Yeah.
just go in.
I fucking love this.
1985 sucks.
Kelly LeBrock, Anthony Michael Hall. We got this guy,
This guy.
Ian Mitchell Smith, Robert Downey Jr., who played not Buster Keaton. He played the other guy.
Charlie
But
Chaplin.
yes, Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton in this movie is
Bill Paxton went downhill from here. Let's just put it that way.
downhill.
Yeah, like this was his peak.
Oh my God, he as Chet in this movie, it is so
Chet.
fucking good. When he turns into just like the big old pile of shit, it is amazing. And there's a scene where he's like pointing a fucking double barrel shotgun at his brother's head and just smashes him and his like lady friend with it. It is like, oh my God, what's he doing? But so it's Anthony Michael Hall and Ian Mitchell Smith. I don't know why they do those three names. They want to create a woman for themselves because they are frustrated white males, and so they do with a computer, kind of like a Frankenstein kind of thing, Bride of Frankenstein, if you will. And they create her, and she kind of teaches them life lessons and kind of gets them through high school and teaches them lady stuff, like how to get
It's
ladies
basically
and everything.
Encino Man.
Basically.
Essentially.
You are exactly right.
Dude, chill the fuck out. Okay.
It's the same thing.
It's 100% the same thing. How to be humble, you know?
Jesus.
But Kelly LeBrock in this
Oh,
is
Jesus.
just
Don't even.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's just
Shermer High.
it's
On there. Never mind.
it's the 80s hijinks that I love to see.
It's so 80. This is like peak 80s.
And
movie.
I haven't watched it in quite some time. I have the Blu-ray, but like it could be problematic. I have no fucking clue. I'm sure it is.
Again, many of these movies are going to get their own episodes.
Sure.
They're
Yeah.
going to. That Weird Science has to.
That's one
Has
that
to.
I
has
imagine
to.
will be coming along.
Yeah.
John Hughes, you can't go wrong.
No?
Weird Science.
Yeah.
All right, let's do number 4. So my number 4, I'm wondering if you guys have seen this. It's a movie called Daryl.
No.
D.A.R.Y.L.
Is it a robot movie or?
Yeah, so it's
Is
a
it
little
Walking Dead?
No, it's a
spin-off?
little kid. It's a little kid who is essentially like you learn that he's a machine.
Okay.
He's a government project. He's a computer inside of organic material that the government was trying to test on, like to build him to see if they could then make like super weapons in the future of like soldiers. Okay. But it doesn't work. Like stereotypically in the 80s, he becomes human and everybody's like, no, he's really a human. and the government tries to stop him.
Yeah.
It's like Short Circuit, but with a human instead of a machine. You know, like,
Okay.
Okay.
it was a movie for me that me and my brother watched all the time because it just happened to be. It's very, very Flight of the Navigator.
Okay.
In feeling and
Yes.
and how it is. It's a little darker than some of these movies, especially like kids movies, you know. But there's one particular scene where he steals a SR-71 Blackbird. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? It's the the coolest looking airplane ever designed.
Okay.
Fighter jet.
No radar.
Correct.
Like, yeah.
Oh, like the stealth guy.
The stealth
not
jet.
not the triangle looking one, but the
Okay.
really long one with like rockets attached to it.
Yeah.
And that as a kid, that like made my love for airplanes. I just like couldn't get enough of learning about the fighter jets. But
Oh yeah.
the main kid, the actor's name was Barrett Oliver. He was Bastian in Neverending Story.
Oh God, don't even mention it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael McKean's his foster dad. It's I'm sure it probably doesn't hold up, but if I'm looking at a list of movies from 1985, that immediately jumps off the page for me. If
Absolutely.
anyone out there that's listening that saw that immediately knows what I'm talking about. Other people might be just like, oh, I've never heard it. And I'm not saying it's going to be great. Again,
Sure.
I'm not going to say you're going to watch and be like, that's better than Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But for me, that if we're talking 1985 movies, that is me to a T for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
AJ, what you got, man?
Check that movie out.
All right, I'm gonna do this in a very particular order. Of we just did some awesome action, right? Very practical, very awesome.
Hell yeah,
Maybe
dude.
not such a great storyline, quintessential kind of ideas,
Police
tropey.
storyline.
But I'm gonna go to some more drama, and I'm gonna go to St. Elmo's Fire.
Okay.
Again, 1985. Jesus Christ.
St. Elmo's Fire. Now a lot of people confuse this. They think it's a John Hughes movie.
I want to know
It's
your
not.
thoughts on this because it's got pretty much the same cast.
It's a lot of the same cast, a lot of the Brat Pack, right? So, like, this is. Some people will tell you that they think that this is the inspiration for the sitcom Friends.
Wow.
Because of the way it's played out and everything, and it's what we've called a hangout movie.
Yeah.
There's actually not much that actually goes on. It's a lot of like post high school, college kids, like just people who are trying to get that new job, solidify their relationships, get over their bad habits, like stuff like that. It's a huge cast, but like I say, a lot of it is going to be, Judd Nelson. I don't think Demi Moore is in there.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe,
Emilio
Estevez, Andrew McCarthy,
Judd Nelson.
Ali Sheedy is in there.
I'm just looking at the Breakfast Club
Yeah,
cast.
you could take about I think there's like half of them off of
Except
there.
Molly Ringwald. I think that we're good.
Yeah, and so, but it's just a very interesting casting, and it is very much a hangout movie. And although John Hughes did actually play like a little bit of a part in like some of the casting and some of the influence, I don't think he ever got anything really credited for it. It's actually Joel Schumacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
It was written and directed by Joel Schumacher, and somebody else wrote with him, Carl Kurlander.
Oh, yeah.
And so
No idea.
But a lot of it was influenced by what John Hughes was doing, but I don't know if it necessarily held up. Obviously, I think The Breakfast Club is a much better take, if you will.
Of course.
Is it
And
like a spiritual sequel? Or and like
it is what they call it.
Okay, is it in your mind? Because I want to know from you because that's your favorite movie.
It is, but once the thought of it is, but once you watch it, it's not.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when you see Judd Nelson as John Bender and then the character that he's playing here,
Sure.
it's two very different people.
Correct.
So then you just have to you have to separate it.
Gotcha.
But it's still a really fun watch, and if you are a fan of hangout movies, not a lot is resolved except for personal transgressions that they all have with each other. So not much is resolved, but it's a great hangout movie, and I think you should watch it. And St. Elmo's Fire, it's about the bar that they all go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the
So,
song.
You just blew my mind because I've not seen that in a long time. So while you're talking, I'm
Sure.
typing in some stuff.
Yeah.
I see a photo of Rob Lowe from St. Elmo's Fire,
Yes.
and it immediately, I can't unsee it now. What's the actor's name's Dacker Montgomery, who plays Billy Hargrove in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
identical.
Oh wow,
Yes.
They look exactly
Oh,
alike.
he's kind of mulleted in that.
It's almost
Yeah.
like they structured his Stranger Thing character after Rob Lowe
I would
and
agree
St.
with
Elmo's
that.
Fire.
He has in this whole thing, he has kind of like a whole drug overdose scare. And that's very much what like he looks like. The sunken eyes, like the
Yeah.
dark eye makeup and kind of rough, a little bit of rough like facial hair and stuff. And yeah, a little bit of the mullet action. But he's like that handsome guy that, people want to be around.
Yeah.
Look at this. Okay, ready? Look at that.
yeah.
Okay.
And then look
Yeah.
at this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No,
Unbelievable.
See?
I think we just broke the internet.
Yeah. Rob Lowe looks like he should have been another cast member in like Lost Boys or something.
Oh yeah.
Rob
100%.
Lowe is fucking hot.
He's got the
in this
dangly
movie.
like cross earring.
yeah, he needs
the
that.
dangly
Yeah.
ones.
The dangly,
The dangly ones.
the dangly one. Yeah, no, he is. He's as you would say,
Amazing.
a man rocket.
He's a man rocket,
yeah.
dude.
Rocket, yeah.
100%.
Even today.
Still is.
What do you got for 4, dude?
Yeah, let's go. You know it. You know I have to do this. I'm going horror, and I'm going kind of comedy horror.
Oh.
I probably know this one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero's
Of course. No, that makes sense.
groundbreaking zombie film. This is technically the sequel to it in 1985, Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
This is by Dan O'Bannon, who has a credit on the Alien script, as well as several other people. But this stars Tom Matthews, James Karen, Don Calfa, Clu Gulager, who's an amazing kind of character actor back in the 80s. Linnea Quigley, who's in a lot of horror movies like Night of the Demons and stuff like that. Genre fans will know her. I'm cracking a lot.
You still got that thing from last week, huh?
It's
You
bad.
keep going. You keep going.
Oh boy. So this is just basically like a scummy like 80s friend group who just like we just want to party. And so like,
Yeah.
oh, how about that graveyard? Let's go party in there. And meanwhile one of their friends is getting a job at like a medical facility kind of thing, medical supply co. And Anita Medical Supply.
Of course it is.
And so he's being kind of shown the ropes, and one of them hits a barrel. He's like, "Yeah, there's dead bodies in here, and they were from the original outbreak." So Night of the Living Dead happened in this universe. So yeah, they're from the original outbreak, and so yeah, no, these babies are steel trapped. They don't open for nothing. He bangs it, smoke comes out. They both pass out. The smoke goes up into the atmosphere. It starts to rain on down into the cemetery. Starts to resurrect all of the dead people. And we have a problem on our hand. We have a movie on our hand. And it's a fucking great movie with an amazing punk soundtrack. It's just so much fun. And it's more, honestly, of a comedy than it is a horror movie. There are some great elements of just like being trapped in this mortuary, and they have to kind of find their way out. But it's like on the nose so much that it could have been made today, just referencing 80s.
Right.
You know, they are making
Like a Stranger Things
kind
throwback.
of, yeah, they are making fun of themselves so hard in this, and it's really fucking fun. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's so much fun. Love it.
Hell yeah,
All right.
man.
Hell yeah.
Well, real quick, we want to talk about Cedar Ridge Distillery.
We
real quick
do.
Before we get into our final 3. You guys know that I call myself a bit of a connoisseur of old fashions.
You could say.
Old fashions.
Okay.
I wanted to make you guys one on St. Patrick's Day when we hung out, but that was the wrong time to say, let's drink whiskey.
We are 9 Guinnesses in. Let's
Yeah.
drink whiskey now.
Yeah.
But so like I've got everything. I've got the wood chips that I can like do a smoker with a dome, and like I know how to light I know how to light an orange peel on fire. Which, by the way, TikTok flagged us for. I had a video of like, look at Mike's making an old fashioned. Flagged it because
Pyrotechnics.
there's flames in there. But anyway, the other night, thank God my in-laws came to town and they brought me a giant bottle. Like we're talking 700-gallon bottle of another type of bourbon, right? A bourbon that most people would think, oh, that's a really great bourbon to put in. You know, it's a famous one. But they brought me like this giant bottle, and I'm kind of like, oh, I probably won't drink this, and I just put it in my shelf.
It's Black
Thank you so
Velvet.
much. It's not Black Velvet.
Okay.
However, it came in handy because the other day I made all my stuff and I opened up my liquor cabinet. No Cedar Ridge. I had no Cedar Ridge, which
Yeah.
I always have tons. And so I, of course, then like wiped away the tears and I said, I'm going to use that other bottle. And I had to like hold it with 2 hands to try to dump it in there.
You know, if it's in a plastic bottle, it's not a good whiskey.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, oh well, I'm still so good at making whiskey, old fashions that it's
can
going to
do it.
taste great. It didn't taste good. Like most people think when you're mixing a liquor with something, like it's not important because the other stuff's going to come in.
It's true.
It is not true because the Cedar Ridge that I'd been making for months and months and months and months, it tastes better.
Right.
Honest to God, I'm just telling you, I was so sad I didn't have my bourbon. So like, I think we can pretty much go on record here, say Cedar Ridge, the flagship bourbon. If you're making old fashions at home, you're making craft cocktails, that is what you need.
Yeah.
If you're in the Midwest, you can hit up any pretty much liquor store, try to grab some of that, yell at them, say, get Cedar Ridge, we need it. If you want it right away, like many of our fans, they've ordered it online. You can go to cedarridgewhiskey.com.
CedarRidgeWhiskey.com.
You can order that straight to your freaking house from Swisher, Iowa.
Yep.
They will send it to you. You can get that flagship bourbon. You can get that quintessential single malt. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it long enough. They
Do you like
support this
metal?
pod.
Do you like Slipknot? You can probably get one of
Do
those.
you
too.
like Slipknot?
Yeah,
I think most people like Slipknot.
they probably should.
Yeah, you either like Machine Gun Kelly or Slipknot. So what side are you on?
Or do you
Come
equal
on.
shit? Huh?
Come on.
Huh?
Which Cedar Ridge does not.
Right.
So
All
go,
right.
please go check them out. They support this podcast. It helps fuel us. So the best thing you can do, listening to this for free, just go buy some of the stuff we tell you about.
Please.
That's all we care about.
It's good stuff.
Cool. Number 3
Number 3.
from
Hit
all these fucking movies from 1985 is
Yeah.
unreal. Real Genius.
Dude.
Of course.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer's second film. I always thought it was his first, but he did something right before this that it wasn't a huge.
Yeah, I have. It's like a spoof movie.
Yeah, it was his first role. It wasn't a very huge movie, but then right after this, he did Top Gun, then Tombstone, and like this is my Val Kilmer. I like you look at him in Top Gun, Tombstone, Batman Forever. That's not my Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Okay.
My Real Genius Val Kilmer. Like I remember, I didn't see this until the early 2000s because I was just kind of reluctant. I was like, oh, whatever. Like that sounds dumb. And then when I finally watched it, it's a really perfectly 1985 movie.
Yeah.
It's montages all. By the way, one of the best montages of all fucking time is there's a song by the Comsat Angels called "I'm Falling," and it's if you heard it immediately, you know it.
Yeah.
It's just
I probably
so campy 1980s, and it's so good. I mean, William Atherton was the evil professor.
Oh, great. Yeah. From Ghostbusters
Yes,
and shit.
of course.
Yeah.
Just such a perfect guy in that role. John Grease is Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, my
He's
God.
Laszlo Hollywood, the guy in the
He's,
closet.
Wolfman.
Exactly.
and,
Yes,
Monster
exactly,
Squad.
man. It's just one of those movies that, again, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it is a little bit underground enough to where maybe you haven't seen it.
Sure.
Val Kilmer shows off his acting chops in this movie, in my opinion. Like, he shows off how truly talented. He's like the Ryan Reynolds of the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie is
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
how I
That's
describe
a good,
him.
That's a good way.
I like it.
I fucking love that movie. Real Genius. That's my 3.
Nice.
Rock on.
AJ, what you got, man?
I'm going to take you over to a little known movie called Commando.
Hey, all right.
If you haven't seen what I'm doing here, I'm going to go action, little drama, action.
Yeah.
Because the 80s had some of the best
It really
action in the world, like in Hollywood. Commando is an Arnold Schwarzenegger flick. It is another just absolutely tropey, just, man who's an awesome retired military guy who's unlike anyone else in the world.
Who's from America but doesn't speak like it.
Wants to live a quiet life with
I'm from
his now
California.
daughter that we don't know anything about her origin either. And then we're going to say, "Oh no, the bad guys are back." And that's like what happens. And it's like, so everyone from your old team's getting picked off one by one. And it's like, "No, I'm retired." It's like, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, okay. But at the same time, you get some amazing Arnold action and
One-liners.
and the insane one-liners to just like when he throws a pipe through the last bad guy. Spoilers! Through the
No!
last bad guy into some sort of steam column, and now there's steam coming out of the pipe that he threw through him. He says, "Hey,
Pretty awesome.
Bennett, let off some steam." That's what he does.
You can't
Like,
get any better. than
come
that.
on, man. Like
I
that's
mean,
just
you can't.
and he takes the guy out on the plane who's like supposed to be watching him, and he says he puts the hat and the blanket over. He puts the hat over his eyes and the blanket on top of him. He says, "Hey, stewardess, please don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired." That's the kind.
Wink.
A wink.
He's
Like-
holding someone over a balcony
Yeah.
with just his one arm, and he's like, "Remember when I told you I would kill you last?" He's like, yeah, you told me that. I
I
lied.
lied. That's what you get when you're talking about Commando. Not to mention, it is also one of the best suit up, arm up montages in the entire.
85's king of the montage
I mean,
at this point.
This is probably like 90 seconds, which is eternity in a movie, of him just loading up his arsenal on his chest, his legs, his Bowie knife, grenades, bullet like bandoliers. He's just got a rocket launcher. I mean, he does literally every single thing that you would think Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to do,
Of course.
in a military movie. He's Rambo, but Arnold.
But
That's
Terminator.
it. But Terminator.
But Predator.
But Predator with the same guy who comes in, and it's Colonel Bigsby or whoever the fuck it is. He's, "We need you back into the fold." He's like, "I'm retired." And it's no.
I'm a kindergarten cop now.
That's it. So go.
Jeez,
Commando.
These are all 1985.
These are all
movies.
1985.
Oh, my
man.
God.
Commando is insane.
It's a big year.
It's a bloodbath.
What do you got for 3, Sean?
A little underseen movie, I think. I hadn't seen this movie until
Scene by scene.
Yeah, thank you. I hadn't seen this movie until like a few years ago. Movie with Kevin Costner, Judd Nelson, and some other actors. Written and directed by Kevin Reynolds. This movie is called Fandango, which
Like the thing?
it spawned the movie theater thing. No, it's just kind of called that. But it's like a speaking of Tommy Boy, which we just kind of covered. Not kind of, we did.
I got him.
Wait.
Yeah. It's a road movie, and it's about it's these guys in 1960 something, I believe, going on a final road trip to just kind of hang out before I think one of their buddies, if not like a couple of their buddies, are drafted into the war. And so
shit.
they're going to this road trip to Mexico to find this one thing, this MacGuffin, if you will. And along the way, they kind of have these trials and tribulations and road bumps along the way. They go skydiving in a scene. It's a very, very like a kind of free feeling kind of movie in 1985 that feels like it's in the 1960s. This is what's great about this movie is it feels so timeless because it's 1985, but it's based in 60s ish.
How have I never seen this before?
It's fucking fantastic.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm like, I don't even.
I was gonna. Yeah.
And first of all, it's impossible to search for it.
Yeah.
You do Fandango, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't come up, and then you do Fandango movie, and then it doesn't come up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, God damn it.
Well,
Did you like Fandango 1985 maybe?
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
This is the short but sweet little synopsis or whatever. 1971 at the University of Texas Austin, college buddies facing graduation, marriage, and the draft skip out of their own graduation party and head to the Mexican border for some adventure, a buried secret, and one last go around at the privilege of youth.
Damn.
It's a great
Damn.
road movie.
I feel like that could be great.
I'll probably watch it.
Now I want
so.
just
You
somebody
guys
to remake
haven't
it.
seen it. Maybe we'll do I've never seen because it's like Tommy Boy times maybe
Right.
30. It's just super great. Kevin Costner is a young man in this. He's super
Is this
handsome.
before he owned Yellowstone Ranch?
I'm pretty sure.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably.
I just wanted to double check.
But after Waterworld, or
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah. He had a little break and went on a road trip with his buddies.
Yeah, he found civilization. Never
Dude,
mind.
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
movie.
it sounds like a good one.
All right, my number 2. My favorite Chevy Chase role of all time.
Oh,
Fletch.
yeah.
Fletch. I don't know if it's underrated or overrated, or
Dr.
if people
Rosen
know
Rosen?
about it. Or Dr. Rosenpenis.
Dr. Rosenpenis? Dr. Rosen.
Dr. Rosen.
Dr. Rosen.
I don't know. AJ. I don't know if people know this movie or they don't.
I know.
Because I mean, I'm assuming it was fairly popular because they made Fletch in 1985, and then Fletch Lives
Yeah.
came out a couple years later. But
Yeah.
this was a amazing movie. Chevy Chase, the lead role, he's like a newspaper reporter guy, and he is trying to bust Like he's trying to write a story about drugs on the beaches of California, but
Yeah.
then he gets somebody thinks he's a bum and hires him to like commit some crime. So then he goes with the flow, and he's got all these characters. It's
he's like an investigative journalist.
Yes,
idea. And, like, but then you think he's like a PI, and it's like, I don't know. There's no real meaning to
It's
what
just
he's doing.
perfect Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
If there was ever a role written for, I'm guessing that this movie was written like Chevy Chase should play this.
Yeah.
You know? But Tim Matheson, M. Emmett Walsh, Joe Don Baker, George
Oh
Wendt.
shit!
It's. I watched it. I hadn't seen it in a long time, so I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that I watched it again to make sure it was on my list. And my wife had never seen it, and she was like, "I'm tired. I'm going to bed." But she went behind the couch and like watched the first 5 minutes standing up, and then like came and sat back down. And then she's like, "I really got to go to bed." And then she stood in the doorway of our bedroom, like watching.
Yeah.
She said, I'm gonna watch that when you leave tomorrow. I want to finish that movie. She was enthralled with it. It's got a hilariously 1980s soundtrack. I
Yeah.
mean, Fletch is a fantastic. And if you've seen it before, just go back and watch it because I think it's worth it.
It really is. It's like it borders on the line of like some sort of Hunter S. Thompson chronicle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That happened, but it's played by Chevy Chase and not being Hunter S. Thompson.
Nice.
But it's like just as wild and obnoxious. You know
It's
what I mean?
completely
It's very
obnoxiously fun, yeah.
it's a lot of fun. So
What's your number 2, Age?
my number 2
2.
is Explorers.
Cool.
Bouncing off of the action and back in
Right back in.
to the drama. Explorers. But Explorers is such an interesting movie. So it's one of these like kids in space movies. I think there's an entire like genre dedicated to kids in space.
Oh yeah.
And I think Explorers is one of the kickoffs of these. Do you guys remember what the tilt-a-whirl is at the carnivals and stuff?
Yes.
So the tilt-a-whirl or like is they have these carts that spin really fast, right? Well, these 3 kids, one of them's kind of a science nerd, one of them's kind of like more of a bully, and then they have the leader as well. And so, but the Explorers is like they basically build a spaceship out of a tilt-a-whirl cart that they find at like a junkyard or
remember that.
something. And so, but it's an awesome cast. Ethan Hawke, River Phoenix, Jason Presson, I believe is the like bully guy, I think, or like the tougher kid or whatever. But these 3 guys, they take this and they build a spaceship and they go to space and they
Okay.
find an alien and they bond with the alien, but they can't stay there. And then they have to go back to Earth.
And it's heartbreaking.
And it's heartbreaking because they bond very heavily.
Ah.
And I think it's River Phoenix is actually the nerd in this, and he's the one who figures out how to transport objects through space. Like, so he does it with like a rock, and then they go and expand it, and they take it to this little cart thing that they built, and it's a spaceship, and they take it to space.
Gotcha.
It's crazy, man.
That's Joe Dante too, isn't it?
Is it
I'm pretty sure that's Joe Dante.
Joe
Is it
Dante?
really?
Yeah.
Joe Dante, you're right.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah. And so it's very, very much like
How have I never seen this?
precursor to like Flight of the Navigator and then like moving on
Correct.
from there.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of in that same realm.
it really is like this is like a
Flight of
double.
the Navigator's like the next year, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 1986.
Yeah.
And this is like if I wanted a double feature in my life, it would be
Ooh.
Explorers and Flight of the Navigator.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
Watch Explorers. This is a feature movie to just watch and just kind of bullshit with your friends on.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I can't wait for that moment.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Um,
Number 2, Sean.
So yeah, you know, I gotta do another thing of me. I mentioned George A. Romero earlier with Night of the Living Dead.
let's
He,
let's do it again.
He had a little movie in between called Dawn of the Dead, which is a 70s kind of thing. It's
Okay,
a great movie, arguably his best. Well, you know, there's arguments to be made. But I think in 1985, he made his ultimate masterpiece. And my favorite George A. Romero movie is Day of the Dead.
So it happens
How
during
many-
the day. It's
how
There's
many-
night, dawn, and then day.
Day.
Ooh,
There's
tough.
just it's all dead.
What would you rather have, day, dawn, or night, AJ?
Day.
For the zombies, you want to see them?
Day. Yeah, I need
Okay.
to see him.
Well, let me explain what it's about. So
No, we're having a conversation here,
Yeah,
Sean.
Sean, it doesn't matter. Mike, what do you
Here's
think?
what I think. I think I want to see the zombies
I want to be
coming.
able to see the zombies. That way, I feel like when I can see,
Direct sunlight. We got him. Got him in our crosshairs.
it's
fine.
it's kind of like when you need to start focusing while you're driving. You turn down the music so you can see it all better.
Perfect.
So
Sorry, Sean.
in Day of the Dead, there's this army outpost. It's like it's an army outpost plus a research facility, and it's these soldiers who are just kind of underground in this bunker. And it's more about while there's a zombie outbreak and everything going on up above them. It's more about these like a group of people being together for way too long and how it can kind of unravel after a while because there's certain personalities kind of conflict and certain as people kind of die off, there are ranks who get lowered and lowered to certain people. May be crazy, you know. And there's also this kind of crazy doctor who's doing all this research, trying to kind of control the outbreak of zombies and kind of see if we can train them, which brings in the zombie bub. And there's beautiful scenes where he's having this zombie listen to music and he's kind of being like, oh, like he's like being brought back to his human kind of stage where he wasn't dead. And like he gives him like a gun with no bullets in it, and he was a military man before he died, and he's kind of like loading it and cocking it and pointing it out like a bad guy in the movie. It's a beautiful thing. One of the best things about this movie is Tom Savini's masterpiece as well for makeup effects. It is the Thing level of special makeup effects. It is insane with the work he did on this movie. It's so fucking crazy. The making of is super fun to watch too if you have like the Blu-ray or DVD. But yeah, my favorite George A. Romero is Day of the Dead. I love this movie.
On record. He's on record saying this.
George A. Romero, Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Got it.
Number one.
That's it.
Number
Sean.
one.
Number
We've
one.
moved on. All these movies are from 1985. We're about to hit you with 3 more unbelievable movies. My number one most favorite movie from 1985, Teen Wolf.
Okay.
It's okay.
I fucking...
You know the guy that shows his dick in the movie, right?
Oh my God. No,
sorry.
seriously.
I'm sorry.
No, seriously. Like, let's move right into that. There's a this is the most 80s movie of the fucking
It's
decade.
so great.
There's dick in the movie.
There's a fucking dick in the movie, dude. Some guys just like "Ugh," on the benches and shit. Oh, AJ wants more of those. This is an
Dude.
This is an absolute classic for me. I don't know. I'm really not sure if this movie actually is a good movie. I'm not sure if people could watch this and be like, yeah, that's a great movie. But like for me, it is. I watched this so many times as a kid.
It's so much fun.
Michael J. Fox is just maybe he's the only reason this holds together because it's like on paper it doesn't work. A 5'4"
You're right.
high schooler who shoots a basketball two-handed turns into a werewolf because his genetics are that way, and then he becomes popular and good at basketball. This is the worst fucking plot line I've ever heard.
You're right.
It's Michael J. Fox is the most non-athletic person in the entire world. But I love this movie. I love Styles. I love the drama in it with Boof. I love just how fun it is. The soundtrack, the "Win in the End" by Mark Saffin.
Yeah.
That song, the "Win in the End." I mean, like it's so bad that it's good. And sometimes that's how we think of the 80s. I think the only thing going against this movie is that it spawned the teeny bopper werewolf crazes. I didn't want any of that.
Yeah,
Like,
that craze.
Can we just leave it? Can we just leave it with Michael J. Fox? And
Can we
then
please?
wasn't there a second one? I never watched the second
Teen
one.
Wolf
No,
2
Teen
with
Wolf 2.
What's his name from Ozark?
Oh shit, Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
Jason
he's in
Bateman.
it.
I've never seen Teen Wolf 2. I think Teen Wolf 2 is one of my favorite movies of 1985.
Teen Wolf, the
Or
first.
sorry, Teen Wolf, yes. Teen Wolf
The
2.
Jason Bateman story.
I love it. So that's my number one, Teen Wolf. For we're talking about favorite movies,
Yeah.
not best, favorite.
I think that's great. I remember watching Teen Wolf so much
So much.
as a kid. And then honestly, there was like this hard cut off in my life where I never saw it again. But there was a time where I definitely saw it on TBS like 8 times in a row.
If there is a movie that fits into what we like to do, I feel there's 2 things of what we like to do. We like to do like Big Lebowski last week, where we really dive deep into this, and like we overappreciate a brilliant movie. And then there are movies like Teen Wolf that
Yeah.
we can just have the fucking most hilarious conversation about.
'Cause there are those movies, and I feel like we are like a perfect podcast to talk about those movies where you watch them so much as a kid.
Yeah.
And then why is there that cutoff?
Yeah.
Because you grew
Why did
up.
this happen?
Because you got into more adult movies and everything
Mortal
like that.
Kombat.
And yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then going back and watching them is so much fun because you're just like, why? Why did I ever like
love this movie.
Oh yeah, because it's fucking great.
And we're not fucking snobs. Like, we can still watch this and be like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it's a 6.
I love
It's
it.
a 6 for me,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, this is stupid, or you can't surf on top of a van.
What? Why can he jump all of a sudden?
Oh.
Just because he's a werewolf?
And now everybody thinks he's cool. That's kind of gross.
It's Encino Man.
It's every movie.
It's basically Encino Man. It's basically Encino Man.
All right, AJ, give
All
us
right.
your number one. Let's do this.
All right. This is my number one. Is actually number 4,
Oh.
and it's
okay.
Rocky. It's Rocky 4.
Rocky 4 was 85.
85,
Jesus.
baby. And so Rocky 4.
Best Rocky.
Ah.
It's a whole nother top 5 Rocky movies.
Well, let's come back, okay?
let's not jump the gun a little bit.
Top 5 Rocky movies that end in Ra. Or start in Ra. No, Rocky 4 was it definitely was one of the most popular ones, right? I think this is when people were anticipating another Rocky. They needed something to top the Mr. T number 3.
Of course.
Right? And what are you going to do? You bring in and it's political.
You bring in the Cold War.
At the time, the Cold War, all this stuff, and what became honestly a great message at the end of the movie when Rocky is yelling to everybody, "If I could change, you can change. Everybody can change." And that's what he says, and we can all change, and we get a Rocky, but we get some of the greatest montages.
Of course, this
he's
is
out there.
80s,
some of the
dude.
best Rocky music.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Burning Heart, Heart on Fire. You're talking about some amazing music in this, and you've got Dolph Lundgren as the
I think the scariest of all.
Scariest.
I think the
100%.
scariest of all opponents.
100%, dude.
100%.
He's unbeatable.
I must break you.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
So
And
you don't
that's
see
it.
UFC fighters saying that shit.
No, it is literally one of the scariest things, and when he especially he kills. Every Rocky movie gets more and more intense. In number 3, Mick gets taken out, and then number 4, Apollo, he's supposed to be impenetrable, and the Rock of Rocky, and Apollo's gone, and it's intense, and I love that movie. If you ever need to just feel a nice little pick me up, guys,
Yeah.
Rocky 4.
go find a good Rocky movie, curl up with that thing, with a little bit of Cedar Ridge.
And turn the captions on.
Turn the captions.
Because you can't understand a word he says.
CityRidgeWhiskey.com.
Rocky 4, man, one of the greatest 85 movies.
All right,
Nice.
Sean, you're closing this out. We've been talking insane amounts of 1985 movies. What do you
Well,
got?
Speaking of boxing movies, this director made a quintessential one, you could say, in the form of Raging Bull. But that's not the movie I'm talking about right now. This movie is called After Hours by Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
Scores?
This is my favorite.
We all pronounce him a different way, right? Okay. What was it, Sean?
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Scores.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
Martin Scores.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is my favorite Scorsese scores. But this movie has Griffin Dunn, Rosanna Arquette, Linda Florentino, Catherine O'Hara,
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong is in this.
Damn.
I forget his goddamn name, but the dad from Home Alone.
Will Patton?
No.
No, I was just naming more people.
Oh
in
yeah,
this
he's in
movie.
it. Yeah, I'm sure he's in it. But it's
No, that's not right.
It's an ultimate to me one crazy night movie.
Right.
So we got Griffin Dunn. He's like a normal kind of guy.
John Hurd.
John Hurt, thank you. Normal kind of guy who works in this kind of news printing agency, and he's just looking to go out and have a good time on the weekend. And it's Friday, and he goes to this coffee shop and meets Rosanna Arquette. And he's like, hey, they kind of hit it off. They talk about books, and they go to her apartment. He's like, I'm gonna try and fuck this girl, I think. and some crazy shit happens, and it just kind of spirals from there on in, and meets some like weird art people. And Cheech and Chong are like these movers who are also moonlighting as like these crooks who are stealing shit from people all over the city, and it's all based in New York. He meets John Hurd, who is this bar owner who he gets like the keys from. He's like, go up to my apartment and meet my wife, and he kind of has a fling with his wife. It's just a crazy one thing after another, and it's all in like 24 hours, and like ends with him being back at work. Just an amazing movie, and only Martin Scorsese could do this. And it's like a weird, because you know Scorsese or scores as
Scores.
like the gangster movie kind of guy, but this is like his more
Not-
overtly comedy kind of thing.
Cool.
And it's a really, really fucking fun movie. I love it. So
Very interesting.
That is my number one.
I mean, just telling you those 15 movies plus the ones we were not allowed to do. I mean, that just goes to show you 1985 was an incredible year. And I think hopefully we either solidified some movies that you also love, or hopefully we gave you some ideas. Because, I mean, there's a few that you guys have said that I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I know what I'm watching tonight.
Yeah, same. After Hours is
Yeah.
probably one of them.
It's
yeah,
great.
100%.
Yeah, super cool. Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for being here. Next Wednesday, we got another great episode. We are going to tackle Red Dawn.
Oh God.
Oh man, I forgot we were gonna do this.
We're
okay.
gonna do Red
Oh,
Dawn.
no.
Gonna do Red Dawn, and after that, we're gonna dive deep into an very unbelievably requested movie. I'm surprised it took us this long to do it. Spaceballs.
Oh boy.
Dude,
People have been asking for this for a long time.
it's about
Yeah.
time we popped our Mel Brooks cherry.
Exactly.
So
And of course, anytime you can add a John Candy to the, it's been a couple weeks.
It's been a bit. We
been a
gotta
couple
get
weeks.
back
Gotta
in
get
here.
back into John
we need our
Candy land.
warm blanket over us a little
That's right.
bit, you know, especially after Red Dawn.
And if you're newer to the podcast, go back this time last year. The Goonies was an episode that was a very, very good episode. I very much enjoyed. Most people say that I should have received like an Oscar for my sound editing during
Yeah.
the Goonies because I added a lot of the soundtrack
That's right.
in there,
yeah,
like the Wishing Well song, and so I'm just saying maybe go back and listen. To
I
it.
think there was a few Oscars to hand out there.
Yeah.
I think that there was sound editing.
Yeah.
I think that there was dialogue.
Yeah,
I think that there was some amazing
Production.
moments. That was just, it was great.
If only
you guys are awesome.
If only I could keep either of your wives out of my fucking mouth, then it would have been a great episode.
Wow.
Sorry.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Please stay in touch with us by following on all of our social media platforms at Confused Breakfast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and Confused Be Fast on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review on the podcast platform of your choice right now.
Also, we have merch. You know you want to rep the Confused Breakfast in public. Mugs, stickers, shirts, all kinds of goodies. Go to confusedbreakfast.com for a direct link.
And don't forget about our voicemail number, 319-804-9596. Links to everything you could ever need from us are in the show notes or at confusedbreakfast.com. This includes a way to follow all of us individually in our personal projects that we want you to check out. Mission of the day, tell your friends about us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.